Are you a part of the problem or contributing to the problem not being resolved? This is something I ask or try to figure out with a series of questions in any coaching session that I have. And I find a lot of the times when people find out that they're either a contributing factor to the problem or they are the problem, they don't really know how to take that. A lot of people are seeking answers, looking for resolve, or ready to tell all about how someone else is doing this or they made me do that. And I didn't have any part in it. I don't know how I got here. And accountability is huge. I think that it's very important when you seek help, be it therapy, counseling, coaching, and you ask for assistance with figuring something out, you need to be open to the possibility that you could be the problem or you could be contributing to the problem not being resolved. If you aren't open to that and you feel like it's going to be a quick fix or work that somebody else has to do, just skip it all together. Don't waste your time or the individual's time, the therapist, the counselor, the coach, because realistically, you aren't going to get any resolve. People come in and they want help, but they don't want to explore what part they could possibly be playing in it being a problem. And sometimes that's not even the case, but I start out with exploring that option initially because the person that I'm working with is in front of me. With relationships, if you're talking about someone that's not there and you have the assumption of or limited information, you can't read their thoughts, you can't control their energy, their efforts, what they will or won't do. You're the person that has control of your energy, your time, your efforts, your thoughts, what you will and won't do. You are the individual that can put forth the action, the effort to make things right or make a decision as to how you want to move forward with the intent and purpose based on the information that you're given from the therapist, the counselor, the coach, or information that you have about the partner you're in the relationship with. A lot of people will come in and give you a whole rundown of what someone is or isn't doing. And you know, based on how long you've been with them, this is where they're at and they just won't change. And I will give them the question based on what they've told me. Now that you know this, what are you open to doing going forward? What's your intention going forward in this relationship? And you'll hear things like, well, I don't know because, they or this way, or they aren't going to change, or they aren't willing to do the work. And I don't know what to do. But you do. You either want to stay based on the information you have and figure out how you're going to be able to accept the dynamic on the relationship that you're in and you're willing to not get or leave or whatever it is. I find it very interesting that the answer is right there and people will not put the weight on their shoulders. They won't accept that, hey, I might be a contributing factor to this problem not being resolved. I'm saying it's a problem, but I have the ability to resolve it or to make a choice that will put me in position to begin doing the work to get better or resolve it. Or sometimes you're the problem. A person tells me, well, I did this, and then you pull at the thread a little bit more and it's like, yeah, and I did that too. And you ask a couple of more questions and I did do that too. And you say, well, you know what? It sounds like you're the problem. You're the person that got yourself into the issue that you're in, the discomfort you're experiencing. You cheated. And as a result of you cheating, this person doesn't trust you anymore and they don't know when they'll be able to trust you. And now you're frustrated because that was a year ago and you need them to get over it and be better because you're better and you need for them to adjust to your timeline of healing, your process, and they need to be better now because you're better and you don't want to deal with what happened in the past, but you were the contributing factor to the problem. You cheated and now you want them to get better. You want them to be okay. You want them not to mention or communicate to you that they're still hurting or these are triggers and I need a little more time and I know it's been a year or 3 months or whatever, but I'm just not quite there yet. I don't trust you. You need it to all go away and for it to be better. And here you are in front of the therapist, the counselor, the coach, and you're saying, what's their problem? I'm not that person I was before. I'm better now and they need to get better. And I need to know what I can do to get them to get better. How about you're the problem? How about you come from a place of support and understanding that you did did something that put your partner in a position to distrust you. And now you got to exercise a little patience. Now you have to understand that it won't be on your timeline. Healing doesn't happen based on your timeline. It's a process. And if you love somebody, then you're willing to do the work to possibly get them back in a better place, because they may never be back where they were, but they'll be better than what they are right now. But you got to do the work because you are the problem. People don't want to hear that type of stuff. And I don't understand that, because the therapist, the counselor, the coach is there to help you. You came and you said you wanted help. And so here we are to help you. And you don't want the help when you are identified as the problem or a contributing factor to why the problem is not getting resolved. For anybody that's seeking any type of help from any of the people I named, therapist, coach, counselor, you have to be open that if it's discovered you are the problem or possibly a contributing factor to the problem or why the problem isn't getting resolved, you're willing to do the work. Do not give the blowback of that can't be. I don't know how you're coming up with that because I'm not that person anymore. I'm doing better. Or you throw it on to somebody else. Self-assessment is a really good thing. Anytime there's an argument, anytime there's an issue, I think it's really important for self-assessment, for you to sit with and think, did I play a part in this? What did I do that could have possibly got us to where we are? And I'll say this can be applied to any relationship dynamic, family, friend, romantic. You got to fall out with your friends. It's an issue. Sit and think about, did I contribute to this? I want it to be fixed. I want us to be better. I want us to be over this. But in order for us to get there, what needs to be done? And is it something that I can do on my part? Is it something that I may have done to get us there? Start with what you have control over, because 9 times out of 10, you don't have control of the other person's actions, their thoughts, their emotions and feelings. You have no way of knowing. They're just assumptions or what ifs, all these unknowns. But you have a really good idea of what you're willing and willing not to do, of where you're at emotionally, what you're thinking, and that's a really good place to start. So when you go to a therapist, a counselor, or coach, be open to the work that needs to be done, the work that may be discovered that needs to be done may start with you. It may start with you. You may start working on yourself and getting better and figuring out what part you played. And then you can go back and apply that to the relationship. And you may find that it gets a little bit better, but you got to be open and willing to shift the perspective. You got to be okay with possibly shouldering some of the weight and responsibility of a part that you might play in the problem. You might be the problem or be why the problem is not getting resolved. Remember, it starts with you. Be your plan of action life coach.